But Justin Urquhart Stewart is with me now, an economist and co-founder of the regionally investment platform. We're seeing this time and time again, aren't we, Justin, that there's so many people who just cannot cope with this economy. There's so many small businessmen in particular seeing the red tape, seeing the costs of employing people going up and up.
It's ridiculous, but particularly when you think actually you're going to Switzerland. Switzerland, that well-known place for low levels of interference and low levels of regulation. And
low prices as well.
Very low prices, no cost indeed. Good God, if you actually go to Switzerland to go and find something cheaper, there is something seriously wrong with us. And that's the fundamental issue, that the government does not understand, and we discussed before, that the primary driver of the British economy, the biggest employer, are small businesses.
Yep.
They're the areas. And so if you come in and actually hit them in the first two budgets by raising the cost of employment, then what do you expect is going to happen? People are going to say, I'm not going to employ more people. They told you that beforehand, they told you that afterwards, but instead of actually saying, I think we made a mistake here, let's find another way of doing this, no, they press on regardless. This is not going to help the economy whatsoever. So now is the time, really, when I'd love to be able to hear a politician stand up and say, you're right, we tried this, we got it wrong. Actually, we're now going to try plan B. I don't care whether what party you're with. Look at the economy and how the economy works. We have a perfectly sensible mechanism of actually making money in this country. Encourage it by actually helping the smaller businesses.
Well, that's a very good point. But the cost of labour, we've talked about the cost of labour with a capital letter. The Bank of England now slashing the growth outlook, holding interest rates, warning of job losses. It is a lot of doom and gloom and misery still to come by the look of things, Justin.
It is indeed. And what you've actually got there for this overall view that everything is, the overall confidence is just being seeped away. And confidence is that vital word you need in an economy, because you need people to invest, to go out and say, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to put more money into the economy. I'm going to set up a business, join a trade, whatever it is. And if you take that away, then the reverse happens. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And what you need to have is actually then show examples of how it's working. And funny enough, actually, you do go around this country, and there are still very good examples of businesses, despite the extra costs, who are still doing really rather well, but moaning, quite rightly, saying, why are you making life so difficult for us? We can employ more people, we can actually do more to actually create more value here, but we need some support from the government, not in terms of extra money. You can have things like enterprise investment schemes and those sort of things, which it's not government money, it just provides guarantee for extra investment.
Yeah.
And if it goes wrong, then, okay, the government has to pay out. But actually, if it goes right, actually, then what the government's done is provide a guarantee, more money into the economy, more growth into it, and it doesn't cost them anything. And that's the bit I find so frustrating.
I actually had lunch with a businessman on Wednesday who employs about 16 people. Partially due to those national insurance rises, he had to lay off 4 people, make them redundant. And there are just so many people I speak to who are trying to be wealth creators who are finding that very, very difficult. And he said, look, I sometimes ask myself why he has 2 sons. And he said, why do I want them to grow up in this country? It's not a country that I'm not sure I want them to, that I'm sure I want them to grow up in. And also I'm not sure I want to have my business here. And I mean, this is a patriotic guy. This is someone who volunteers a lot of his time, who does things for the public good. And there are just so many people who are absolutely fed up with how the government is treating them and the tax situation that is there, because they're taking so much money away. And it's not just rich people. He's a relatively wealthy guy. It's not just the millionaires who are leaving. We saw that huge report last week about that. It's young people as well. It's people 25, 26 thinking, I could do roughly the same job in Dubai, get a lot more money for it and not pay tax on it.
Absolutely, with the aspiration to be able to grow and be successful. And more to the point, also, reward people, encourage people to be successful. What I find so frustrating is people say, put up tax on the wealthy. Well, no. Actually, get more wealthy people. You can encourage more, you can have more tax. If you have more tax, you do not create wealth. It's the other way around.
Yeah.
So encourage that. Doesn't mean you have to have the filthy rich the entire time doing nothing. What it means is you're creating greater wealth for the greater good. As that wealth grows, therefore there's more money going through the system. As more money goes through the system, people are paying VAT, there's more tax take. It's very simple, straightforward economics on it. Yeah. The bit that I found so frustrating with the Chancellor was that she was putting up the costs of national insurance for the employer. Actually, trying to say, well, it's the employers that are paying this. You say, no. Yes, but it's affecting the jobs that they're actually creating. Of course, because they have, without understanding it.
Well, they have less money to pay them. Listen, thank you, Justin, as always. Justin Urquhart Stewart there, an economist and co-founder of the regionally investment platform.